Hello, beautiful people here in the Powerfully Peaceful Women community. So good to see you here today, or see you on the replay. Happiest of todays, whatever that is for you, and welcome. Hello, beautiful Jackie, jumping on. Today's Empower Hour is going to be pretty short, sharp, and to the point. It may be a little triggering for some people to hear this, and I feel it's really important. And I've been on the receiving end of this question as well. So I'm going to start today with this question and just diving straight on in today. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. But I want to start with this question. Hello, beautiful Tiana. This is the question that I want to offer everyone today. And it's a question that is in and around problems and challenges and issues that we face and deal with. So on any given day, we may all come upon some challenges, some issues, some things that are difficult, that we tell ourselves are difficult. We may have the same argument with the same family member over and over and over again. We may have the same objection from someone in your life. You may have the same things don't go your way problem. You may have the same, you might say to yourself, this always happens to me. This is something that, that I've been carrying around for a while. This is in my genes. This is in my past. This is because of this. It doesn't matter what you're saying. The question that I'm going to offer you to sit with today is this. How much longer do you want to carry that around with you? How much longer do you want to carry that around with you? The problem, the issue, the thing that doesn't work, the thing I'm not good at, the thing I've never been able to do, the continued problem that I face. This always happens to me. How much longer are you prepared to carry that around with you? And the reason that I'm asking this question today, and the reason I'm offering it for you all to sit with today, is because what I find often when I work with people is that they are able to tell me the story of the problem. And please hear me when I say the story is real for all of us, because we're living in it. This isn't about the what happened. This is about what are you willing or not willing to do to move through this. So I was at this came up for me recently, so I'll give an example to share with you. So I was at a training and I had some resistance to one of the exercises. And the story that I was telling myself was I didn't know how to do the exercise. And when I dug down a little deeper on that, what I was really saying to myself was that I didn't know if I would get it right or wrong. And if I dug down a little deeper on that, there was a story in my life where I always wanted to get things right or wrong. Specifically right and not wrong. And I found myself getting really upset about not being able to do this exercise. And that was just translating into, I don't know how to do this exercise. I'm not going to do this exercise. This is how it always is for me. Blah, 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 right? Went on like that. And the facilitator asked me this question. How much longer are you willing to carry that story around with you? And I'm going to be really honest with you and tell you that in the moment it was so, it like I was so angry and so frustrated at that question because I was so identified with the story that I was telling myself. And so as I looked at the facilitator, I said to her, she said, are you willing to give that up right here, right now? Are you willing to give that story up right here, right now? Because the solution that you are looking for is going to be out of your grasp unless you are willing to give up the story first. You see, here's the thing. Many of us don't want the solution. We just want to be right about our stories. And if that's the case, there's nothing wrong with that. But know that you are not wanting a solution. And this is a hard truth. We need to stop complaining about our stories to people. We need to stop living in the, I can't do this, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I don't know how, my life is shit, whatever the story is. We need to choose that. That's our story. Why? Because we're not willing to give it up. We're not willing to let it go until we are. And when we're willing to give that up, we get to choose a new outcome. We get to choose something new. We get to choose a new way of being. So in this moment when I was asked that question, I could feel the story living in my body. And it was like I had this movie, fast forward of movie moments flashing before my mind where I could remember playing out this story over and over and over and over and over and over again in my life in a million different ways. And when I was asked that question, how much longer are you going to carry this around with you? And are you willing to give it up? Second part to the question. I could feel this attachment to the story. And I knew that in that moment, that if I'd said, yes, I'm willing to give it up now, I knew it would be a lie because I could feel the strength of the attachment to the story in my body. And so I said, no, I'm not. I'm not willing to give it up. And the facilitator said, cool, great. I'm just going to leave that with you then. And she moved on with the rest of the training. And in that moment when that happened, I'm sitting there going, wait, what? You're just going to leave this with me? This is playing out in my mind. What? You're not going to stay in this story with me? You're not going to stay here with me? And it was power to this facilitator for doing that because she gave me a choice. And I got to be in full self-responsibility for that choice. And for that moment, my choice was, no, I'm not willing to give up the story. Her response, cool. Basically, good luck with that. Good luck with that, but I can't support you. And I'm not going to climb in the story with you. So let's just move on. So 10 minutes or so, the training went on and it just kept going on. And I'm sitting there with this conscious awareness of this story that I'd been telling myself. And knowing I'd just chosen to keep it. What? I had just chosen to keep the story. Where are you choosing to keep your story? And how many times are you going to play out that story over and over and over again? I'm going to tell you how many times you're going to continue to play it out until you understand that you have a choice. You have a choice to keep the story, which is what I did in that moment. I said, no, I'm not willing to give it up. I could feel the strength of it in my body. It felt so real and true for me. And of course it was. But it also wasn't serving me. It wasn't serving me at all to keep this story alive. And the only way to move through that story and create something new was to be willing to let go of that, to let go of it. So 10 minutes went on and eventually I just said, excuse me, yeah, no, nah, I've changed my mind. I am willing to let go of this story right now. I'm willing to give it up. It's not serving me. And the facilitator said, cool. How would you like it to be? And I said, I would like it to be that when I do these exercises that they're easy and effortless. Huh. Great. Then there's your story now. And I'm going to tell you, when I then went on and did the exercise, it was easy and effortless. And I had no attachment to it being right and wrong. And I had to decide to give up the story first before I could choose something new. Now, this is a conscious point for all of us. When you hear yourself telling a story over and over and over and over again, and you might even hear yourself saying, I'm going to try to do something. I'm going to try and be better at this. I'm going to try and not do that. Try is also just your get out of jail free card to stay in the story. Because if I said to you, and you can do this at home, if I've put this pen on my hand and I say to myself, try and pick up the pen. Did I pick up the pen or did I try to pick up the pen? I just picked up the pen, right? Yeah, when we say we're going to try to do something, we don't do it. Generally, we don't do it. Try is another way of just staying in the story. I'm going to try. I'm going to try. Nope. You're going to keep the story. So the question is, are you willing to give up the story? That is my offering to everybody today. To have a look at the stories that you're telling yourself about what you can and can't do, can and can't have. And ask yourself, am I willing to give up this story right now? And if you are, great. And if you're not, also great. But know that you are consciously choosing one or the other. And then with that new awareness, I would be interested to know how long you are then able to stay in the story, knowing that you are choosing it consciously. My goodness, these are getting shorter and shorter and packed with more of a punch, I feel. With love, of course, with love. And I'm never going to share anything with anyone that I haven't, hello beautiful girl, that I haven't had the privilege of working through myself. And I call it a privilege because every time I work through something and release it, a new expanded version of me is out there in the world interacting with the world. And what does that mean? Well, it means that I'm in full alignment. I'm in full congruency. The more of my shit I can let go of and release, the more aligned on purpose and in my soul mission I am. Now, people ask me about, how do you know when you're in your soul mission? Well, or alignment or purpose, whatever you want to call it. Well, to me, it's not something that you do. You don't, if we say we're in our soul mission and it's, it's got a 5-page manuscript as to what it is, probably it's not your soul mission. Probably it's part of some conditioning that you have. Being in our soul mission, being in alignment, being in purpose it's a feeling. It's when everything that isn't you isn't there. And you're just in your full congruency. When you're showing up exactly as you are and who you are in all areas of your life, the same way. It's not this version of you here and this version of you here. You are just in full alignment, full congruency. That's when we're in our soul's mission. It's a being. It's not a doing. Yeah, it's who we're being. And we get to decide who we're being. Every moment of every day, we get to decide, are we keeping the story, or are we willing to let it go and create something new, a new lived experience? Yeah. And there's no right or wrong there. You can keep the story. We can all keep our stories. But we get to decide consciously that we're choosing to keep the story. And then we also get to decide, how long we want to do that for once we know we're consciously keeping the story. Yeah. So that's it for today, beautiful people. I hope that supports you all in some way. And if you want some help or support to release your story, if you are willing to let go of your story, come and speak to me, come and seek me out. I'm here to support you with that. If you would like to create a new story, I'm here to support you with that. If you would like an invitation to join a workshop that I'm facilitating this Thursday night for the Sacred Sisters, please send me a message and I will send you the link. You are welcome to join as my guest, because I can promise you everyone who attends that workshop will be writing a new story for themselves for 2022. There you have it. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. And if I can support you, yes, thank you, beautiful Carol. I absolutely love working with you, and I'm so thrilled that you have joined the Sacred Sisters for 2022. So exciting. All right, amazing people. I am going to leave it there. As I said, the Empower Hour is probably going to get shorter and sharper because, I'm here to support women to not live in their stories, to step out of their stories and arrive into the truth of who you are so that you can deliver your soul mission. And there will be nothing you need to do that when you are story free. You will be being your soul mission. That's how it works. You will be being in your purpose. You will be being in alignment. Yeah, it's not a doing, it's a being. All right. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon.